If you're on a little bit of a budget but still want quality optics, my choice is Sig Sauer. Whether you're looking for something for up close and personal, like the Romeo 5 red dot, or something a little more mid-range, like the Tango MSR LPVO, Sig will get the job done at a really good price point. Let's try this one first. Works to me. Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. Happy Friday. Today we've got a video. I'm hoping to keep it a little bit short and sweet. This is going to be about Sig Sauer optics. Because when it comes to optics, I believe you want something that is high quality, that's going to be reliable, hold zero, and last. But if you're like me, and you like to have a lot of firearms, then you're going to want to save money where you can. And there's a big difference between cheap optics that are not going to get the job done and good, high-value budget optics, which is what I believe Sig makes. So before we get started, I want to thank everyone that subscribed to the channel. You guys are amazing. Let's get it going. I've been running the Sig Sauer Romeo 5 red dots on multiple setups for a long time. Put a lot of rounds through them. They've held zero and haven't had any issues. All good. So when I bought my first AR-15, I bought this Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 2. And as you guys know, if you follow the channel, it looked nothing like this when I bought it. It was the optics ready version, plastic handguard, A2 mil spec, very, very basic AR. Now I've done a lot to it, obviously, and it has an LPVO on it, which we're going to talk about shortly. But the very first thing I got for this was the Romeo 5 red dot. When I was in the gun shop that day, I needed an optic. It came optics ready, which means it doesn't come with sights. And the guys in the gun store, my local gun shop, which I've come to get to know these guys very well by now, they recommended the Romeo 5 as a great budget red dot. And to this day, I really appreciate their recommendation. The red dot that used to be on this rifle is now on my AR-9, which I just recently completed, which, again, if you follow the channel, you probably know that already. But so I felt like I also recently got the Sig Tango MSR LPVO, and that went on that original rifle. And so I felt like it was worth talking about Sig optics just in general, specifically the Romeo 5 and the Tango MSR, because I believe that they are a great value that will last you forever and do exactly what you want them to. Hold zero, they're rugged enough for regular use. I shoot every week. I put lots of rounds downrange, and I've had no issues with any of their optics so far. Now, Sig does make very high-end, very expensive optics, but I believe as far as budget optics or high-value optics go, they have the best in the business. So just recently finished building this Aero Precision EPC9 build. And when it came time for optics selection, to me it was a no-brainer. Especially because I already had one of these Sig red dots. It's a Romeo 5. And in a minute, I'm going to show you the rifle that this came off of, because I replaced it with a Sig Sauer LPVO. Accurate, baby. Now, I've made videos specifically about each of these, about the Romeo 5 and about the Tango MSR. So this video is going to be a little bit more generalized to just give you an idea of why I believe that these are such good value. Such a good value, in fact, that after getting one of these for my first AR-15, I got the exact same optic for my next AR-15, and it has done great. And this one has an echo binary trigger in it, so it is run really hard a lot of the time. Fast rounds, lots of rounds, and this optic handles the recoil just fine. The mounting system on it has stayed tight and solid. It's held zero, and I haven't been particularly nice to it, and it still even looks great. It's just a very, very good red dot for the money, and I think most people in the gun community will agree that the Sig Romeo 5 is probably the best red dot that you can get for around 120 bucks. Now, you can go on Amazon and you can find some dirt cheap red dots, but those are garbage and they're gonna fall apart, they're gonna break, they're not gonna hold zero, they're gonna have terrible battery life, they're not worth your money, and you're gonna end up having to upgrade later on anyway. So the whole buy ones, cry ones thing, it does apply to most gun parts, and especially to optics, but that doesn't mean that you can't find something for a good value. And the Sig Romeo 5 is exactly that. It's a fantastic value. So I've been able to be pretty accurate with this Sig red dot. Works for me. So the Romeo 5 has a reputation for being very durable. Like I said, I've been running 2 of them for a very long time now. Even moved the one from my other AR onto my 9mm AR, and it's fantastic. And in fact, let's pull that down because that's the one that I was shooting to make this video anyway. So I just recently completed this AR9 build, and a 9mm AR is basically made for up close and personal kind of stuff. Perfect for a red dot. A red dot is generally an unmagnified optic, 1x, and that's what you want on something like this. Now, of course, I do run backup irons on anything that I run a red dot on, just in case your batteries fail. But the battery on the Sig Romeo 5 lasts for 50,000 hours. 50,000 hours. Think about how many hours that is. That's about up to 5 years, and that is on level 6. It has 8 daytime and 2 night vision settings. Push button up and down. Battery goes right in here. You can, your adjustment turrets are right here. And it's a 2 MOA dot, and the thing just works. It works great, and it's perfect for a close range setup like an AR9 or like an AR pistol, such as this. A red dot is exactly what you want for that, and the Sig Romeo 5 is just a fantastic value, and I believe in it because I've used it for quite a long time. So one of my favorite things about the Sig Romeo 5 is the MOTAC, or motion activated. It turns on as soon as you pick it up and move it. And when I say as soon as you move it, I mean that. I have not been able to catch it not on. Anytime I pick one of these weapons up, that red dot is on. But after a certain period of time of no motion, it turns off, saving that battery life for you. So it's something that's always going to be ready if you need it in a situation. I'm not saying don't pay attention to your battery life. Things can still happen, and that is why I run backup irons, just in case. 2 is 1, 1 is none, am I right? But that motion activated, MOTAC is a fantastic thing about the Romeo 5, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I recommend it. So we just saw what I think of the Romeo 5 red dot from Sig. This is their Tango MSR 1-6 power LPVO. And for less than 400 bucks, this thing is sweet. Let's do a little close-up work first, and then we'll take it out to some distance. I like it. So as you can tell, I love the Sig Romeo 5. It's a great red dot. I recommend it to anybody. And in fact, you can get it on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. It is an affiliate link, so if you click on that and decide to purchase a Romeo 5 for your new build, it gives my channel a little kickback. Doesn't cost you anything extra, and is greatly appreciated. I will also have a link to this. This is the Tango MSR, and this is my newest Sig Optic, which I put on that original rifle that first had the Romeo 5 on it. This rifle I have now designated as my more mid-range instead of close-range setup, and this is a 1-to-6 power LPVO, and you can get this on Amazon for about 350 bucks. And from what I gather, this is about the best value in LPVOs that you can find. Very similar to that Romeo 5 red dot. This thing is just fantastic, and I've been using it quite a bit lately. It has an etched reticle, so it'll work whether your batteries are working or not, but it also does have illumination. It has 11 settings, and when you turn it all the way up to 10 or 11, it is very bright. The reticle also has a bullet drop compensator. You can see right here. And it's a very useful, I explained it all in my video specifically about the Tango MSR, but it's a very useful reticle. And one thing I've found with this thing is, so far I've only taken it out a little past 100 yards because my local range, I have one spot where I can go to about 100, 120 maybe. Another spot on the range, I can go 200, 300, even 500 yards. But if I don't get out there early enough and someone's already at that spot, well, then I'm relegated to my 100-yard spot, which is where I was when I filmed the video for today. But 100 yards, this thing is child's play. It just makes it so much easier to have a magnified optic to get out to anything past, 20, 30, 50 yards. That magnification makes all the difference. But besides being out to reach and shoot at a higher distance, magnification also gives you positive target identification. So even if you're not using the magnification to shoot, if you're not sure that something is a friendly or a foe, turn your magnification up and you'll be able to tell exactly what you're looking for. Then if you want to come back down to take your shot, that is totally up to you. But at least you'll know that taking your shot was a good idea or not. Am I right? But just having that magnification is a fantastic thing. So we were just looking at how well the Romeo 5 red dot works. Just ran this scope up close. Now let's take a look. We're way out past 100 yards here. Let's see how well it does. Missed one. So, besides having that magnification to reach out, which we're going to have some footage of that cut in here, at close range, it does have a true 1 power, which is very nice. So if you are used to running a red dot or something, you still do get that 1 power with this, and as long as you have your length of pull set up correctly, you're going to be able to be almost just as fast with this as you are with a red dot. And in fact, you can shoot with both eyes open if you want. Although I've found it so far not as easy to shoot with both eyes open as a red dot is. It's definitely not as ideal for 1 power for close up as a red dot. But if you want something that's going to be able to do close range and farther range, an LPVO is perfect. And the Sig Tango MSR is probably the best thing you're going to find under 400 bucks. Now, Primary Arms also makes some really decently priced LPVOs, like their SLX 1-to-6 with ACSS reticle. From what I've heard, it's fantastic. And I did look at that before I ended up going with this one. But my previous experience with Sig Optics had me confident in Sig's optics. And so that is why I went with the Sig LPVO. All right, fresh mag loaded up. Let's take some shots at distance. As you can see, very easy. So as you can see, out at 100 yards, this thing is just easy. I can't wait to take it out to 200, 300, maybe even farther, and see how easy it is with this 1-6. 6 power isn't the highest power LPVO you can get. They have 1-8s, 1-10s. And in fact, this Tango MSR is based off the Sig Tango 6, which is an optic that's used by the military. Their Tango 6, Tango 8, actually Tango 4 even series are fantastic LPVOs. But the Tango MSR series are just the ones that are a little bit more budget minded, but still very high quality. If you take a close look at this thing, it is extremely rugged. And in fact, let's take a close look at it. So if you look closely at this thing, you can see just how beefy and how rugged it is. And one of the things that makes the value even better is that it actually comes with the mount. And generally when you get an optic, especially an LPVO, you're going to pay however many hundreds or thousands of dollars that the optic itself costs, and then you're going to pay another couple $100 for the mount. And so to have an actual good cantilever mount that comes with this thing, it's just what a good deal. One of the things I really like about it is this line right here, which makes leveling it very, very easy. You can see right here is where you have your illumination dial, and that illumination works fantastic. This is where your adjustments are made with your turrets. It gives you exactly what your torque specs are for mounting your optic. And I love the throw lever to go from 1 power to 6 and anywhere in between. It's just really an easy optic to use. It's very rugged, very durable. And for less than $400, I think you can't go wrong. All right, we're gonna finish this mag off, still at about 110 yards. See how she does. Not bad, not bad. So whenever friends of mine or people that I know that are new to firearms ask me what optics that I recommend, especially on a budget, I have always told them the Sig Romeo 5, because from my own personal experience, the thing is a fantastic value. It works great, it's rugged, it's reliable, it holds 0 through high round counts, and its battery life lasts an extremely long period of time, especially with that motion activated technology. It's a fantastic, fantastic value. And now, with the experience I'm getting with the Tango MSR LPVO, I'm going to recommend that as well. I just think Sig has the best entry-level priced optics that you can get. I'd love to hear your opinion though. Do you feel that there are better values out there? I feel like Primary Arms has some really, really good values as well. I just don't have as much experience with their stuff as I do with Sig, and so I can't in good faith recommend it yet until I do have that experience. But I would love to know what you guys have to say about the matter. Besides that, make sure you guys please subscribe to the channel. Please like and share if you enjoyed this video. I'm going to have Amazon affiliate links down below to both the Tango MSR and the Romeo 5 if you're interested in either one of those optics. If you click on my link first, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but gives me a little kickback. Helps pay for all this stuff to keep this channel running, and is greatly appreciated. I'm also going to have a link to my Patreon down below. That is the easiest and best way to support the channel. But anyway, from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.